Hey, I'm Tipsy, and today we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. Today, I want to delve into the world of fanfiction. Not just any fanfiction, though, of course. I'm talking about the cream of the crop, the pièce de résistance of fanfiction websites. Wattpad, of course. What else but Wattpad, the, I guess, self-proclaimed world's largest storytelling community. As of quarter 2 2024. I do want to mention right away, I really like how they use like fiscal quarters. Is Wattpad a publicly tradable website? Can I invest in Wattpad? Can I put it like my entire financial future into this website? Anyways, let's start reading. I am not signing up for Wattpad. Absolutely not. I don't want this on my record at all. This is just for me and nobody else, right? You won't tell anybody, right, that I'm here? I hope not. By the way, quick disclaimer, not that I should have to say this, but don't go after anybody in this video. Making anything at all is pretty cool, and I'm not trying to hate on any of this. I just thought it would be a fun time, so be nice, behave. So none of these, like, romance stories are really interesting me. Like, they just kind of all look like, you know, like actual books, like actual romance novels I would see at like the Barnes & Noble or the Walmart book section. So we gotta search. We gotta go LeBron James. This should yield us some great results. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's so much. Let's pick a good one. We've got LeBron James x Stephen Curry. Absolutely. Then there's so many chapters. This person was updating this for a year, for 2 years. Oh yeah, this is about to be peak fiction. I forgot that nobody on Wattpad, at least that I remember, knows what punctuation or sentence structure is. So this is all just gonna be like one big burst. It was a Friday night, a day before the Cavs versus Warriors game, and Stephen invited some people over. The first person to show up was LeBron, which made Stephen's heart drop at the thought of him. At least there would be other people with them, thought Stephen. LeBron knocked on the door, not realizing there was a doorbell. That's important. That's important for the rest of the story, mind you. When Stephen saw LeBron, his stomach dropped. Stephen asked where the others were, and LeBron said, "They won't make it in time. They went to down a fancy restaurant and got stuck in a traffic jam from a car crash." "Wow, really?" said Stephen. "Well, then come in," said Stephen also. "Okay," said LeBron. They sat on the couch with silence for about 45 minutes until LeBron asked, "Steph, do you want me to leave?" Steph said, "No, what makes you think that?" LeBron said, "You're being super quiet and shy like we have not met before. I'm out of breath already." Steph said, "If I tell you something, you promise not to storm out and get angry." "I promise," said LeBron. Ah, LeBron reference. Subtle LeBron reference with the "I promise." Steph said, "Well, okay. Okay then. LeBron, I like you a lot, and I want to be with you. I hope you're not weirded out." LeBron looked at him with a blank expression. Stephen said, "Okay, I knew I should not have told you," and Steph walked away to get some water when LeBron pulled Stephen's shorts, and Steph fell onto LeBron's lap, straddling it. Oh, can I read this on YouTube? This is getting, what do all the book talk people use? Spicy? That's the word? That's the word. Steph said, "Okay, this is really awkward." LeBron pulled Steph in for a long, passionate kiss. Steph did not battle for dominance because he knew that LeBron would win. In my dreams, really. Then they eventually both needed air, and Steph said, "Do you want to go to bed?" LeBron said, "I like you a lot, Steph, but I don't want to have sex or anything. Eat, maybe, just sleeping and cuddling tonight." Steph laughed. LeBron said, "What?" Steph said, "LeBron James likes to cuddle." LeBron said, "You know, a lot of people like to cuddle." Steph smiled and leaded LeBron up to his bedroom, not wanting to wake his kids. I was going to mention, do these take place in some sort of alternate universe where these players don't have families? But no. No, that very much not, because Steph's kids are canon to this fic. Oh my god. Anyways, they got into bed, and LeBron was staring at Stephen. Stefan threw a pillow at LeBron's face and said, "Stop staring at me." LeBron said, "I can't help it, you are too cute." Stefan blushed from the compliment. Stefan laid there, tracing a tattoo on LeBron's collarbone. "Babe, what are we?" asked Stefan. LeBron took Stefan's hand and put it in his heart and said, "Boyfriends, I hope." Stefan kissed him, saying, "Of course." It was the next day at the Cavaliers versus Warriors game. LeBron walked over and Steph and whispered in his ear, "Good luck today, baby. I love you." "I love you too," said Stefan. Now, as much as I would love to continue, this fic, because there's like a lot of chapters, I don't think anything can really beat this. This is the greatest thing that the NBA really has produced. It's not just the fan fiction community or like NBA fan. The NBA as a whole led to this. Like, James Naismith made a sport, and that directly contributed to this piece of media's existence. And I just think that's beautiful. I think that's a beautiful thing that should be celebrated. And thank you to Larry Bird for this. Thank you to Larry Bird and Wilt Chamberlain and Muggsy Bogues, especially Muggsy Bogues, for facilitating this fanfiction's existence. After a lot of grueling and laborious searching, I've found our next fic. Of course, it is Peter Griffin and Roger Smith fanfic that I made in less than 20 minutes. I mean, if this doesn't blow me away, if this isn't the greatest thing I've ever read, I mean, we can basically just end the video. Okay, it's the best Tory ever. I mean, they were so focused on the incredible work we're about to read that they could not even fit the extra S in there. Also, this one is a joke. I know that this is a joke. I don't feel the need to say that, but at the same time I do, because I feel like some people do actually think I'm that dense. I know it's a joke. It was a dark night on September 12th, 2001, and Peter Griffin, the main character from the hit show Family Guy, went to Quagmire's house, I just read ahead, with Cleveland Brown and the wheelchair guy. Oh, the wheelchair guy. While there, Quagmire told the gang about his new girl named Elizabeth Crownwary Thickness the 75th. That's crazy. But Peter thought that she looked familiar, but did not let it get to his head because he was an idiot. Okay, straightforward. But after a while, Peter really had to go to the bathroom, and while he was blowing up the toilet like Japan in 1945, he heard someone move in the shower. He pulled back the curtain and saw that it was not Elizabeth Crownwary Thickness the 75th, but it was Roger Smith. I forgot what the fic was already. I forgot. It was 2 minutes ago that I talked about it. Oh my god. The comic relief alien from the other hit show, American Father. That's real formal. That's crazy. Peter thought that Roger looked kind of cute, so he gave him a big smooch and asked him right on the spot to marry him. God, you could tell that they were in a rush writing this. I mean, no slow burn, no nothing. I was ready to go on a roller coaster ride here. 20 minutes later, they got married at a random old man's funeral. 3 seconds later, Peter found out that he was pregnant, but it was not Roger's baby, causing a big, fat, enormous scandal that was just as big as Watergate. But Peter was not a crook. Roger pushed Peter into the old man's casket and spat on Peter's beautiful, beautiful forehead. And was called a fat bastard by his former lover. As the casket was lowered, Roger was shaking his big, juicy booty, and Peter was crying from it because it was so beautiful. 38 years later, Peter gave birth to a baby that looked like former President Gore Washington's baby. Okay. In my head, that's just another Roger persona. Another 812 years went by until Roger and Peter met each other again and fell in love. They both shook their booties and became one again and kissed each other's noses for the rest of their lives. 27,453,012 years later, the beautiful couple died from too much butt hair. The end. You know what? I've not read anything better in my life. I'm also illiterate, but you know, that I think we peaked. We don't need another Game of Thrones book. We don't need really anything else ever again. Also, that was like just kind of actually funnier than any Family Guy episode has been in, like, I want to say the last 3 seasons. And I mean, I'm someone who doesn't really hate modern Family Guy as much as most people, but man, it's so ass nowadays. But this was incredible. This could be a Family Guy episode, and it would be like way funnier than most of what they've done in like the entire 2020s. I'm just saying. Yeah, I've got no explanation for this one. This hopefully our final fanfiction here today. Trump x Biden, call me your president. After a hard day's work in the Oval Office, Trump decides to blow off steam at his favorite gay bar in downtown Washington, D.C. He meets a charming older fellow and starts a passionate night together, and share a passionate night together. Trump can't stop thinking about this mysterious one-night stand until he is standing in front of him at the presidential debate. Will they rekindle their one-night stand passion? Will they be enemies? A little bit of both. But more importantly, who will become the next president of the United States of America? Read Call Me Your President to find out all of the answers. Yeah, I mean, this was updating, like, as recently as a few months ago, October of last year. It's number 25 in Trump, so that's how you know it's good. I'm scared. They don't pay me enough to read this. Someone running against me? I sat there quietly. How could anyone run against me? I had done nothing wrong and served as an excellent president. Must be those Democrats trying to ruin everything good ever given to them by a Republican. Happened to Reagan, and now it's happening to me. President Trump, are you okay? I had forgotten to speak when caught up in my thoughts. Who is this Joe Biden? You don't know who he is? Mike Pence walked up from behind me. That's how you know this one is ancient. Mike Pence? Nobody said that name since at least, like, 1964. I shook my head. He was the vice president for Obama. He also helped work with Clinton. The Democrats absolutely love him. That, I don't know if that has ever been true. Love is a strong word. So how do I beat him? A previous vice president. That sounds like a good reputation. Maybe I should be worried. Hillary was a Democrat favorite though, and I somehow won. No qualifications either. I think you should meet him first before we tackle how to take him down. Keep your friends close, but your enemy closer. I'll set up a meeting for tomorrow, President Trump. I nodded and headed to my room. Joe Biden, what a name, I thought to myself. How could I beat him? Maybe going for a drink would get the juices flowing. Yeah, one would think. I put out a baseball cap and some dark clothing I had laying around and headed out the back doors. Security really isn't as tight as you think it would be for the White House and all, but it helped me sneak out so often, so who was I to complain? I'm just thinking about, like, the principle, the premise of the president just having to, like, sneak out of the White House, like, in, like, a hood, head down, I don't know, and that tickles me. Once I arrived at the bar, I didn't see any of the regulars. I guess it was a Monday night that I was there, and I typically went on their busier days. I waved to the only bartender I knew and took a seat in front of him. The regular? He asked. I flashed him a cheeky smile, and he began making a fruity cocktail. I don't think I've seen you around before. I turned to where this unfamiliar voice beckoned. There beside me stood a gentleman who looked maybe 3 years older. He was shorter than I and had a receding hairline with white strands set atop. I don't typically come here on Mondays, I replied. He turned to the bartender and told him the drink was on him. Is it okay that I bought your drink? I smiled. He immediately caught my smile, and having caught it, smiled back, almost in self-mockery. After I'd made clear I'd intercepted it, he smiled and confessed he'd been caught. The whole thing thrilled me. That confused me for a second, jeez. We struck up a conversation, and after about 5 drinks, we decided to head to a hotel, where we had a splendid night together. And I just want you to take a couple minutes of your time. I'll wait here. And just think about that. You know, just let that visual creep into your head and infest itself into your brain. That's what I want from you. That's your homework for this video. President Trump, Joe Biden will be coming over soon. I rolled over in my bed, my hair disheveled and the blankets half covering me. I nodded. The exact moment I did so, I felt a strong hangover take effect. The man who had awoken me understood and left promptly. After I'd showered and gotten ready, I heard the front door open. I walked confidently over to the commotion, but was stunned to see the man I had spent the night with just hours before standing in front of me. "Nice to meet you," he said. I turned my head to avoid eye contact. Did he not remember me? How could I not? How could he not? I remembered everything. Perhaps he was playing it cool. What else was he supposed to do? Hey, I saw you at the gay bar last night. In fact, more than just saw you, but I was pulled out of my thoughts by an abrupt cough. I greeted him with a monotone hello and offered him a tour around, oblivious to the fact that he had been in and out of the White House over the past 30 years. "So you truly know nothing about being a government official," he remarked. I assumed he was playing it safe and being rude to me, the nature of competition. "Truly nothing. I'm just a natural." I smiled at what I thought to be a flirty exchange. He didn't seem to find it funny. The security guards eventually left us to wander around the hallways. Even though Joe had seen it all before, I just wanted to be with him. Something too exposed me. Wait, what? Something too exposed me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Something too exposed for me to ever tell him. To let him have that vulnerability of me was to lose my position, my control. I could only show so much. Maybe it was for similar reasons that I would look away each time he looked at me, to conceal the strain on my timidness. He might have found my avoidance offensive. Retaliated with a hostile glance from time to time never crossed my mind at the time. "Are you excited for the campaign?" I asked, making small banter in an effort to keep him with me. "Who said competition should be friends?" He stopped in front of a painting of the Great Plains Indians. "I thought we were more than friends." I gripped my fingers tightly. He didn't bother to look at me. "I'm not sure what you're implying, but I don't want anything to do with you besides my competitor. I've sworn to my people that I would take you down no matter the cost, so watch your mouth and don't try to..." He paused, looking for the right word. "Just don't." He turned on his heel and began walking down the hallway he had navigated many times before. "So?" I hesitated. The childish words kept spilling out of my mouth. "Last night meant nothing to you." That stopped him. "That was you?" He didn't turn to face me. I wonder why he said it with such disgust in his voice. "Don't ever mention that to me again." That was the last I saw of him for another 3 weeks. It's crazy. You know, the craziest part is that all of this really happened. You think that I am showing you a fan fiction. No. This is real government archives. You can actually go on the White House website and you'll find it. You will find this. You see what I mean? It says it right here. Donald J. Trump. I fucked Joe Biden. You thought I was kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm being genuine here. This is true. Anyways, as much as I would love to continue this, I want to leave you in suspense. However, if you want to see more Donald Trump x Joe Biden Yowie fanfiction reading, please let me know. Please tell me, email me, fax me, all of that. But I guess that's gonna be all from me for now. If you liked the video somehow, leave a like. If you subscribed the video, leave a subscribe. If you'd like to see more stuff like this, please let me know. And check out more of my stuff on the screen right now. And until next time, I'm out of here.